Do you ever just look at something and you're like, I need that right now. I don't know why, but I need that. Well, my mom was cooking and I found this really big piece of lettuce, and now it's my lettuce hat. Hey there, chickadees and chickadudes. You guys know what's coming out, right? Season 3 of Stranger Things is coming out, and I will not be going to see fireworks, because 4th of July, I will be over there on my bed, binging the whole series, wrapped up in a blanket, while yelling at my precious babies to run from all the new monsters they're gonna throw at us. You know, that crab thing doesn't actually look that fast, but he looks bloody. I'm assuming it's someone else's blood. So, fun story. If you don't want to hear about my life and all the fun it is being me, then go ahead and go to wherever I put the numbers at and skip ahead to the tag part of this season. Show, clip, video. Yeah, skip to that, please. But anyways, when Stranger Things 2 came out, I had not seen Stranger Things 1. Haven't seen any of it, just heard about it, and I was living at a dorm for an internship, and everybody was just hyping it up, and I'm like, I want to be a cool kid too. I will watch this Stranger Things. So I was a really nice person, and I managed to get a friend's Netflix account, but then I had to get around one rule at the internship. Our curfew was 11 p.m. We could not leave the dorm. If you weren't back by 11 p.m., you would be locked out and expelled. But there was no rule saying when I could leave the dorm. So the day that Stranger Things 2 came out, I waited for everybody in the dorm to fall asleep around 1 a.m. Then I snuck out. Snuck out the door, unlocked the library that had the Wi-Fi, pulled out my laptop, and I binged everything. Totally worth the almost expulsion. But hey, welcome back. Why'd you skip that little story? But now, I want to do my own Stranger Things tag. A Stranger Things tag centered around my favorite characters in the show. These are my own prompts, but if this video is anything like any other Stranger Things book tag out there, I am so sorry. I didn't look up any other videos before this. So here are my top 6 favorite characters of Stranger Things, and I have to match them with 6 other characters or 6 other books that sort of relates to them. And number 1, we have Will Byers. I wrote it down. Name a character who doesn't seem important at first, but turns into a catalyst for the story. A friend of mine, when I told her that I loved Will Byers, she was like, why? He doesn't do anything. He just gets abducted. But we have a story because he gets abducted. And I loved seeing him in Stranger Things 2, because every time he was on screen, I was like, yes, something's gonna progress. And also, whenever he showed up, the Mind Flayer would show up, and I'm like, aha. A character who doesn't seem important at first, but is, I would say, would be Elva from the Inheritance Cycle. She starts out literally as a baby. Nothing is more helpless than a sponge or me after I do sit-ups. But her caretaker begs our main character Aragon to give her a blessing so she won't have to go through all the hard stuff in life, and Aragon does. But when Aragon speaks in the ancient language to bless the child through magic, he gets the words mixed up, and instead of protecting her from harm, he forces Elva to bear the hurts and worries of others around her. She has to be a shield for all the pain that she is feeling, and it can kill her. It's overload constantly, and she can use this as a weapon to hurt or protect others. And the older she gets, she just begins to rival the main evil power we're battling against in the books. If she ever came against my dear Murtagh, I don't know if he'll escape without another scar. She can bend anyone to her will with just her voice, and that makes her one epic anti-hero. Prompt 2. And my favorite characters aren't in any particular order, it's just like when they popped into my head. But number 2, Steve Harrington. His name has hair in it. A character you had mixed feelings on. You didn't know if you loved or hated them until a certain event happened. When I first watched Stranger Things, I was like, oh, Steve's the classic jerk in the love triangle, but he was sweet, and when he picked up that baseball bat and just started hitting the Demogorgon and not dying like I thought he was going to, respect. And then in season 2, when he and the Billy get into the fist fight, respect, even though he lost so bad. He was the dad of the group, and now I ship him and Nancy. Although I don't actually like Nancy that much. She's okay. No hatred. It's just out of all the girls, I do like Eleven and Joyce more. And Max. But a character I didn't know I liked until something happened to them, it would be Vanessa from The Wife Between Us. If you guys saw my June TBR, I got the summary for this book way wrong, and I am so sorry. Don't listen to me in that video for that portion of the time. But in part 1 of this story, we are in 2 point of views. Switches every chapter from the girl Nellie to the girl Vanessa. Vanessa's the ex-wife, and Nellie's the wife that has replaced her. And like the book, it says don't assume anything, but I assume that Vanessa was like just an over obsessive, needy, stalkerish person. But when the event happened, after I looked up the spark notes, is that what it's called? Just to make sure I was right in what I was reading, I loved her, and I felt so sorry for her. Number 3, Dustin. That side character who steals the show, or book in this case. Very aggressive wink right there. So, whenever I think side character, one super minor person comes to mind every time. And I'm gonna have to look up her name because I can't even remember her name. Caitlin, the girl who is freaked out that her second toe is longer than her big toe. That little quirk has stuck with me since I read this book, and I like it. I like her. They're shopping for sandals, and she's like, I can't wear sandals. They'll expose my hideous second toes to the public. I also really like Isaac in this book. You guys know how it ends, and a soft, sappy part of me really hopes that Isaac and Hazel ended up with each other afterwards. Number 4 is Hopper. Get it? I'm hopping. That gruff and tough leader who secretly has a teddy bear heart. That'll have to be a character from one of my favorite series growing up, The Ranger's Apprentice. Halt. Halt is one of the senior rangers, the group tasked to scout around and learn the secrets of those working against the kingdom. They can render themselves invisible, often mistaken as sorcerers because of their arcane ways of just fading into the background. And Halt's the scariest one of all. He's grizzled, he just stares at you, glares at you, his eyes as sharp as flint. But he really loves his horse, and he gets his apprentice ranger, Will, and they got this uncle-nephew thing going on, even though they're not really related, but it's like they are, and they have this familial bond, basically, and he protects the ones he cares for. Like someone was beating up his apprentice, he almost shot the perpetrator through the calf with an arrow. He shot many people through the calf with an arrow. That's like his trademark. He's got a straight-faced sense of humor. He loves coffee. Does it sound like I'm putting him on a dating website? All you gals around 45 out there. Oh, he's not single. Not anymore. I'm sorry to get your hopes up. Number 5, the Demogorgon and the Mind Flayer. Don't ask me what those movements were. That villain or monster that made you want to run and run and run and never look back and grab a gun. Now, Stranger Things, it's not that scary, isn't it? It's just suspenseful. So, I chose the Footman from the 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. So in this book, you are a man, but you have no memory. And every time a day ends, you change bodies. Or, if you get killed, you change bodies. You have 8 hosts and 8 days to solve the mystery of Evelyn Hardcastle's death. But if you don't, you repeat the whole cycle over again and you lose all your memories again. But there's people out to kill you so you never win. One of them is the Footman, a shady individual that literally pops out of nowhere and stabs you. You can't read this book all calm and complacent, because you will get stabbed, okay? Straight through the book. And he hunts you down like you're an animal for his pleasure to kill. He calls you Rabbit, like he'll come up behind you and whisper, "Run, Rabbit, run." And you run. Too late, he already stabbed you in the back. And you just flop dead on the floor. He's creepy. The Plague Doctor is creepy. They're both creepy because they can literally pop up anytime, anywhere. Oh, I just flipped the book open and yeah, immediately, it's on one of his parts. "Brave Rabbit," he says, "slitting my throat." And my final prompt, 11. No, it's number 6. But we're talking about the girl 11. A serious character with one goofy, weird trait. Waffles. But no, not in this case. Not for this dude. This dude likes to eat spiders and rotting pumpkins. That would be Alistair from the dreadful tale of Prosper Redding. You got this grumpy demon who just wants his kingdom back, trying to burst through the kid he's imprisoned in, but he starts to develop a love for porcelain ponies. Angry demon, porcelain ponies, melts his heart. Speaking of 11, I just saw Godzilla King of the Monsters. Anyways, guys, that was my Stranger Things tag. Please, if you want to, use this, use my characters, use my questions, or make your own. That's the fun stuff. You can be tagged, or you can be the tagger, the footman on BookTube, if you will. No, you are the Demogorgon. You chase after what you want, and you grab it, and you eat it, and kill it in whatever order you want. Thank you guys for watching. I am BookCase. I mean, when you have sleeves like this, you just want to walk around like the Phantom of the Opera all the time. Bye everybody, keep turning pages, and comment when you start watching Stranger Things 3.